Hello and welcome back to the boat shed. Today is January 24th of 2024. So, that horrible cold spell that we had has finally broken. It's up in the lower 30s now, and so I was going to work out here again the other day, start going back to work again the other day. But it had been so cold for so long that I got all that frost up on the steel on my ceiling. And then when it warmed up, was it yesterday, the day before yesterday, I guess it was like it was raining in here. It was really, that frost melted and it was really dripping in here. So another day I didn't get anything done, but yesterday now I got the heat turned back up in here and getting ready to do some more work. I did some sanding and whatnot down here, and I did a pattern of this angle on the bottom here. This is a horrible pain to work down here. It's just, there's no good position to do anything when you're sanding. It's just you're leaning under and trying to reach up, and it's just miserable. I think, this spring or this summer, when I get to this point on the other side of the boat, I think I might try to hire somebody to help me with this, because this is it's just miserable trying to get my strips in there for my pattern, those 1/4-inch plywood strips in there that I use to make patterns. I mean, how do you do that when it's curved? And so I got one, I used little nails and I tacked one corner in, then I brought it up here and tried to hold it up in the center so it wasn't sagging, and get this end tacked in, and it's, with just one person doing this, it's a lot of work getting these full sheets of plywood stuck up underneath there too. This may be the worst. These sheets of plywood going on down here may be the worst job I have done yet on the boat. The most difficult, most frustrating, and yeah. But we're still plugging away at it regardless. Now, I told you I was going to do some different rollers for the epoxy, and these are what I've got. Glass coater made by Corona, and they use a little well, you can buy whatever length you want. I went with 4-inch, and I also bought some West Systems rollers. These are a little bigger, but I haven't used these yet. We'll see. But in getting this new sheet of plywood ready to go, and I just did this earlier today, and I think a lot of my problem with the dimples, the little bumps on here rather, is actually this fiberglass cloth. It seems to be pilling and leaving little fibers that raise up and create a rough surface. And this piece here in particular was really bad. You can see, like here, there's a bad spot in the fiberglass. There's like a seam across here, another one that goes almost all the way across here, and then little ones in here where it's, I don't know if this was getting towards the end of a roll and it had a lot of stresses on it, or a lot of, whatever. But see, here's another spot here where it's got a bad piece in it, and here's this one that went all the way across. So yeah, part of the problems I'm having might simply be due to the fact that this section of fiberglass cloth is not very good. And you can see all these little ripples in there. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So what I do, once this is cured enough, is I sand this to get these high spots knocked down, and then we put another coat on it. And we'll see how that does then using these new rollers. And here's one of just a conventional roller. And this is a fin roller, which is what you use when you're putting cloth down. After the cloth is on here, that works the cloth down flat, pushes any air bubbles out. And they really work quite well, and they really are essential to getting that cloth laid down properly. But anyway, I just put this on earlier today. So this is going to be a couple days before I can sand it and then put another coat on. And we'll use the same roller that I used here, that glass coater roller, and we'll see what kind of a surface it leaves me with. But you don't want to sand too much, because then you sand through your fiberglass cloth, and you really don't want that. So you got to kind of, you know, be careful one way or the other. So other than that, haven't been doing a lot. Oh, here, my septic tank was frozen up. I did a little search on the internet and I found this stuff. And they said, oh, it's, yeah, but you can't, you have to be a commercial licensed plumber to buy that stuff. But was not the case. So I ordered some off Amazon. Then after I'd done that, I did a little searching, and it turns out a hardware store in the region 20 miles away from me stocked it. So I went and picked up a gallon of it, put a gallon or a half a gallon of this jug just down the closest drain, sink drain that I had to where the pipe goes down into the ground. I gave it about 15 minutes, and you could see it was working, but it didn't clear out the leak. So I went in and I pulled my, I've got one of those soft couplers in my vent pipe, the vent stack coming up out of the house. So I pulled that off so I could open up that vent stack, which is right above where the drain goes into the ground. It's a 4-inch sewer drain. And so I poured the other half gallon, and you're not supposed to need to use a whole gallon, but I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to give it everything I possibly can. And I put the second half gallon in there, and then about 5 minutes later, whoop, away it went. It's an acid is what it is, and when you mix acid and water, you get an exothermic reaction. It heats up and it gets nice and warm, yeah, I didn't even know that existed. So, you know, lucky for Google, I guess. But anyway, so I got the drain cleaned or cleared in the house, so I'm back to using that again. Washing clothes and taking showers and using the toilet. I mean, you don't realize how much you miss things like that until you don't have them. But it's a good case in point for, you know, people in boats when you're buying a boat or building a boat or whatever. Some people will say, oh, you don't need all those luxuries. You know, you don't need a shower in your boat either. There's people that just go up on their deck and shower or you know, bucket wash their clothes. And yeah, you can do it. And it's not the end of the world, but boy, it sure does make life a lot easier if you got those luxuries. And I mean, in today's modern environment, it's, you know, it's not that big a deal to put that sort of stuff, make that available to us. So I would say if you're doing a boat, you know, give yourself the basics, luxuries at least. I picked up some wood the other day while I was out of town, and this is for framing up and in doing starting at least the door for the engine room up there in the cabin in the main saloon. So that'll be something I'll be starting here shortly too. Probably working on that in between putting sheets of this plywood on. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I'm going to end this video with a short clip of me and my skid loader moving a little bit of snow. And at the beginning of the clip there, you'll see an eagle. It's a bald eagle, and I've got an eagle that likes to hang out not only down there where I was moving the snow, but in my trees here by the house. In fact, yesterday I heard Archie, I was out here working, and I heard Archie barking at red alert level, which means he's got something, you know, an animal or whatever. And so I went out to see what it was, and here it was that eagle sitting in the tree here. And the eagle didn't mind him barking, but he didn't appreciate it when I walked out there, and he flew off. But it's a problem. I've been trying to get a good picture of that eagle, and a lot of times I come out of the house, and if he's in the tree by the house there, as soon as I come out of the house, all I hear is this whoosh, 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 there he is, and he's gone. So I don't know he's there until he's already on his way out. So I haven't been able to get a good picture of him, but maybe someday. But I got a little bit of video, not real great video, but I got a little bit of video of him anyway. So I'll add that on the end of this clip.